What is happening, recteq family? How are you doing? You wild savages of the wild. That's going to be a new saying I work in.
Big t-shirts.
Yeah, that's from my friend Trevor. Okay. He always said, you wild savage of the wild. So I'm working in, Trevor. I told you, you wild savages of the wild. So listen, we're starting a new thing that I think you guys will enjoy. Today we're going to be talking about the Xfire, but we're starting a thing called Surprise Lives. And I mentioned it when we... Surprise, right? I mentioned it the other day when we were showing the Xfire that we're going to be doing that. Most of the videos, with the exception of this one, I mean, some of the videos will be longer. The vast majority are going to be under 3 minutes. And it's just different ways for us to get the message out there that there's a better way, and the better way is with recteq. And also for you guys to learn more about your recteq and how it's built and the pros and why it's built like a tank and why it's better than the competition. So we think that's going to be a neat thing. We hope you enjoy it. Everybody's going to be doing at least one a week. I'm going to go do another surprise live with the actual Xfire later today. All right. So we had a bunch of questions about the Xfire. If you have any and you want to, if I don't get to them, give me a second. You're welcome to ask them right now, and they're going to be reading them from behind the camera here, and we're going to be answering. But the main question we got a lot of, guys, is grease fires. They're concerned with grease fires, okay? So let's talk a little bit about that. So, of course, if you're in the recteq family, you want this thing to do low and slow. And so the question kind of becomes, if, let's say you did low and slow, you cooked 4 butts overnight, and then the next thing you do, you crank it all the way up to a grill mode on high, are you going to have a grease fire? The answer is absolutely you'll have a little bit of a grease fire. You just did a perfect storm to have it. But that's the whole point of a grill, okay, when you're in grill mode. If you remember old school and high-end gas grills, there's no way to avoid grease fires here and there because you're moving around and the grease is hitting a live fire. You're going to get grease fires. Now, what we recommend, and I will absolutely do every time I do a low and slow, just so I don't have to do a burn off before I grill, is disposable sheet pans fit perfectly under that grate. We designed it specifically for that reason. And you could put these pans underneath your low and slow cooks. It catches the vast majority of the grease, and that way you're not going to have a grease fire. And what you can also do in these disposable pans is you could put aromatics in there. You could fill them with water, chicken broth, wine, beer. You could put some rosemary and lime. What do you like to do for aromatics?
I just like to put some old beer in there that's left over in the refrigerator. That way the grease, when grease drips down in there, it doesn't burn on that pan. So that's why I like to have some liquid in there.
Yeah, do you ever do anything that smells good?
No, sir. I just do the beer and the liquid.
I learned that from when we won first at Memphis in May. They put aromatics in the whole hog, and they had like lemons and oranges and rosemary, and that rosemary gave a real good smell. I don't even know. Do you think it adds anything to the cook?
So lazy.
Well, smelling's half of it.
Yeah. Oh.
You eat with your nose first, so you.
Yeah.
This kind of looks like John's hair.
I like it. I like it.
That's like a mini John.
Yeah, little Roblox, Minecraft John.
All right, so, but the other thing is, let's say you're grilling on high and you haven't done a low and slow first. So some people pointed out when we were doing all those steaks, and we'd been cooking chicken prior to that, when we went live introducing the grill, we had a grease fire. It can happen because you've got some greasy food, some chicken, and some butter on the steaks, so you're going to have burn up. So this is
Italian dressing.
Italian dressing, yeah, we had it loaded with the chicken. And so the whole idea here is that you're grilling. And when you think back to your dad, when you were growing up, grilling on a gas grill, they're constantly with those tongs moving stuff out of the fire. That's the whole idea. On high temps, you're going to have a fire here and there. And the whole idea is you got to tend the grill and make it fun, okay? If you put it on low, you're not flirting with it as bad. But on high, with a lot of greasy foods, or if you marinate in Italian dressing, or if you were to put bacon on there, of course you're going to have a fire. Go ahead.
What's the difference between the Xfire and the Bullseye?
Great question. They cook very similarly. They react like a gas grill. They're very similar in the way that they cook. The Xfire just has a whole separate grill mode that's going to get a lot more actual wood fire on your meat, whereas the Bullseye deflects the fire, and you do get the fire licking at the meat, but not that direct fire like you do in the Xfire with that adaptive sear control. And so then with the Xfire, you also have the ability to switch right out of grill mode into smoke mode, which is going to activate your smart grill technology, and where you're able to get that precision control. So it's more of a primal type grill. The Xfire is more of a primal type direct fire over real wood grill when you're in grill mode, where it's somewhat protected in the Bullseye. The Bullseye is kind of a hybrid, whereas this is just two separate units. You get best of both worlds.
And a lot of folks probably didn't even see, that the Xfire Pro has a drip bucket. It is slanted down at the bottom on the inside of the grill, so all of that grease, will funnel outside into the grease drain. So a lot of folks probably didn't even see that it even has a grease drain when we were doing the demo. We didn't even show that, but it does have a grease bucket. It does have an amazing grease draining system down at the bottom. But yeah, no, there's going to be some leftover grease, after those nasty greasy cooks.
Yeah.
And if you want to burn it off, burn it off. Some folks are going to want to take those grates out and wipe it out. But me, I'm lazy. I'm going to burn it out. I'm going to cause a grease fire on purpose to get rid of that stuff.
Yeah, I think it took less than a minute to burn it off. About a minute, if you want to.
With those two fire pots in there, it definitely heats up very fast. It's able to burn that stuff off very quickly, and it's another difference from the Bullseye. You actually have two fire pots in the Xfire Pro.
Yeah, so you got a lot more room and space to do different things. And like Jody was mentioning, our grease management system, the entire bottom, if you did those 4 butts for the example I gave at the original, at the beginning of this video, the vast majority of that grease is going to go into that bucket. But of course, you're going to have some residual grease that you're going to have to burn off when you do a hot grill.
And that's another difference, between the Bullseye and the Xfire, is that the Xfire is going to have that grease management system, whereas that Bullseye is just going to collect down there at the bottom.
That's right. Collects in the bottom. You have to wipe it out from time to time. Collect
Or burn it off.
Or burn it off. We've seen some smoke, from burning that off.
But again, we still have those pans that fit all the grill sizes. So you place those in there. That'll catch the grease. We don't traditionally use them that much here. We probably should to show you guys how to use them. But we do have the disposable pans that help with a lot of that grease management.
We'll do a surprise live from my house, and we'll cook with some pans and show them how to do that.
Shoot you.
Another question from Charles Shepard, 807. He wants to know, does it have a pellet dump? So the answer to that question is no, and here's why. We have experimented with a bunch of designs of pellet dumps. There's no way that I would ever sacrifice the integrity of the hopper for a pellet dump if it can't pass the water hose test, okay? And what we do is we spray that thing with a water hose. We get it, because you never know if somebody's sprinklers are going to hit this grill, so the water could be coming from upwards. You don't want to get water in your pellets. That's a bigger problem. It's got a 20-pound hopper. It's easy to change your pellets. I can do it in under 1 minute with a solo cup, or I can do it in 12 hours by cooking a brisket. So it's your choice, but the pellet hopper is 20 pounds, easy to change, and trust me, that's a very gimmicky thing. For those of you in the know, that cook with recteq will tell you it's almost never a situation where you want to change your pellets. You just cook with what you got and you change the flavor after. Very rarely, I'll tell you, when I first...
Hey, don't speak for everyone.
Not everyone. But when I first got recteq, I thought it was going to be fun. I was going to be using certain pellets for certain things and other pellets for other things. And it was going to be... Afterwards, I realized the flavor differences are so subtle that I just cooked with whatever I had in there, and then the next cook was with something else, and you get to try the different flavors on different foods. So, no, it doesn't have a pellet hopper. 1200 degrees is some serious fire. This is from R. Hayes, okay? He says 1250 degrees is some serious fire. I wonder how long a load of pellets will last. Great question. Don't know the precise answer because we haven't tested it, but I'm going to test it. I can tell you this. At 1250 degrees, it took us the other day 6 minutes to cook a steak. It's wide open. The auger can only turn at 1 speed. The most that can really burn is it wide open. I know from the other grills, because it only turns at 1 speed, is 2 pounds per hour. That's the most it can feed in there. So if you're cooking a steak at 6 minutes, you're talking about way less than a pound of pellets to cook that steak. So you're not talking about that much pellets. Is it burning through them? Sure it is. But you're doing a hot and fast cook. It's not like an overnighter or anything like that. It's not that expensive, but it's going to cost you an extra $1 or $2 to cook a batch of steaks for sure.
Well, it depends. If you got both fire pots on, you can choose to have just the left side or the right side. It depends.
And even save there as well. Yep. How do you?
But going 120 miles an hour, you're going to burn a lot of gas.
Yeah, you can burn a lot of gas. Have you ever done 120?
In your car, yes.
All right. Whiskey Miser. He says he assumes the venting is the rear for smoking. Jody, I'll have you take this.
Yeah.
He says, can you show it? And I will when I go later this afternoon. And he also asked about the pellet dump, which we also already answered. So just if you don't mind answering about the venting.
Yeah, there's no actual like giant, vents, but yes, the venting of the smoke and heat, goes out throughout the back lid of the grill.
Because
Absolutely.
it's not a direct seal, so that makes for
That's
the
correct.
exhaust. And it
Yes,
also
sir.
has room for the rotisserie.
I was just about to add that.
Yeah.
Just took it from me.
So I stole it, man.
$249.99 at recteq.com. That rotisserie is legit.
Yeah, recteq.com. You better get the rotisserie. You get the Xfire. You can afford the rotisserie. I know you can. You've got it in your budget. Squeeze that budget. All right.
Back in stock.
Back in stock right now. TM Aquatics. He wants to know with that much heat, does it burn? Does it burn through pellets faster? We answered that. I'm sorry. The Whiskey Miser was all over the place. He asked another. What are the limits of low and slow on this? On the when you are in smoke mode, it is 225. Oh, he answered his question. The Whiskey Miser. It goes from 225 to 400 degrees. 225 is that magic number that everybody likes to smoke at. And so we set it there. And 400 degrees on smoke mode, you don't want it to get higher than that because you could just, at that point, you just want to turn on grill mode. Okay. And do you have to use a specific pellet?
No, use any brand of pellet.
That's
We
right.
encourage you to use the recteq brand because we know who makes them, and we rotate them here physically. But no, you can use any brand of pellet. Does not void your warranty.
Charcoal pellets?
Yes, you could, but we do not recommend using charcoal pellets.
Especially on smoke mode. That's a good question. On charcoal pellets, if on the grill mode, because it's moving wide open. On smoke mode, they tend to create like this ball of trouble in the bottom of the fire pot that builds almost like a snowball. And so when we've used charcoal pellets in the past, it starts to make the grill act a little goofy because it raises the fire.
It doesn't taste like charcoal.
And it's different
And it doesn't-
BTUs as
yeah,
well.
It tastes like wood anyways, different BTUs. I'll experiment with that for you guys down the road, but we haven't run charcoal pellets through there yet. I know it doesn't work on smoke mode. They just create too much ash. So Jody is John is the warming rack easily removable for tall foods like turkey.
Super easy. Just take it right in and out. It has two hooks on the side. You just pop it right in. Yeah, in the back. Yep, sure enough.
All right. And Greg, will the probes work in grill mode or do the probes turn off?
So the meat probes are only engaged when you're in smoke mode. That's when that PID controller is activated. When you're grilling hot and fast, in-stream thermometer is going to be your best bet there. Again, you're going to be kind of flipping stuff, but the probes will be operational when you have the grill and smoke mode and the PID controllers on.
Jody, will the 20-pound hopper run this grill all night in the smoke?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we average about a pound an hour at 350 degrees. So if you're going low and slow, that 20-pound hopper, will get you through. You may have to funnel some of the pellets from the right side to the left side, but no, you definitely get through an all-night cook.
All right, that question about the warming rack was John L'Esperance, and about the probes was BSNY.
B. Snyder.
B. Snyder.
Photography.
You got to decipher them. I'm not good at that. He also asked about the 25 hours. So here, this is from BSD Guy Sean. He's not through the whole video yet. Maybe we'll cover it. He said, what's the main grill cooking area? Not including the upper shelf.
825 degree, 25
not
square
including
inches.
the upper. That's including the upper, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
I think so.
Okay, cool. 800 square inches.
About 800. That's a very small. I think it is 800, isn't it?
I think it's right around 800.
Right around 800. Okay, so Ba8089, he says, I'm so confused. Can we get a walkthrough of the interior of this thing? Is this just a big bullseye, or is there actually propane somewhere in this thing? Is the body actually stainless? Okay, so I'll take that one. I'm going to go live here in the next hour and show you the inside, a close-up. We're going to do about a 3-minute video. Like I said, the vast majority of our lives will be less than 3 minutes. But no, like we just already talked about, it gives you more of a direct fire. We have the adaptive sear control. There is absolutely no propane. We are pellets. We believe in flavor. You don't have to worry about that running it out and looking for propane tanks. I guess you could go look for propane tanks when you
Well, what if you run out of pellets? We're going to go look for bags of pellets.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
right?
But it doesn't sneak up on you like
doesn't
propane.
sneak
You remember
up
those
on
days?
you. I know.
You were going to
You
like
don't have to pour
Blockbuster
that
to
hot
run your
water on
video,
the side.
and you had to get propane.
That's right.
That's back in the 80s.
That's right. I don't know about Blockbuster.
Blockbuster is back when you had propane is outdated.
out,
Propane,
Blockbuster.
schmopane, P-A-I-N. All right, so no propane, not here. The only thing we've ever done with propane is the Matador, which is a kind of a wok type cooking. Go ahead.
So I
Another good
stand
question.
corrected. Dylan upstairs said it's 825 in the main area, 842 with the top right.
Thank you, Dylan. All right, Dylan was just down here walking Frank took Frank outside. We have a mascot in here named Frank. Isn't it Frank?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember. One died, but Frank is our tortoise that lives here in the worldwide headquarters of recteq. Whenever you go on a tour of the place, you get to meet Frank. He started off this big as tortoise, and he's about that big. They grow very slowly. Yeah,
He's bulk mode now.
Yeah,
for sure.
he's in his prime, man. Lamoka Dave, what's the point of 1250 D? Lamoka Dave sounds upset. Not what's
Lots of
the
question
point?
marks.
Oh, yeah, tons of question marks. What's the point of 1250 D? I think.
1200 degrees.
Oh,
1250
degrees. Okay, yeah. Thanks, Jody.
Yes, sir.
If they don't spell it out, man, I don't do good with acronyms.
You do not. You're not good at acronyms.
Not needed for a sear. PID controller in 25 increments. Question mark, question mark, question mark. No lower than 225 degrees or stated heavy smoke mode. Just seems to miss the mark on several fronts. This is one of those mean tweets.
Well, he wants it to be.
I don't own one.
He wants it to be like more part of the like. He wants it to be more like a traditional pellet grill.
Yeah, he says, I don't own one, but the I won't say their name, the CC Woodwind with a sidekick seems much better choice for this guy. This offering certainly doesn't tempt me from moving from my bullet smoker and S&S grill. Well, Lamoka Dave.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. That's mean. I'm sorry to upset you. Yeah. We hope you had a fantastic Easter with your family on your grills. But I will tell you, if you saw this thing in action, it's like no other. 1250 degrees is not necessarily needed to sear a steak, but some people like the Kamado type cookers, they want to be able to reach 1200 degrees for a very fast sear to cook. Some people, even some high-end restaurants, they cook their steaks at 1500 degrees. So some people want that, so we're able to achieve it. Me personally, I probably am cooking my steaks at more like 800 degrees or something like that. But it's there if you want it. Okay, that's why we did it. And it does smoke as well. I don't know why anyone would choose to cook. This is just me personally, and probably most of the people out there. Why would you choose to have a sidekick that's propane when you can have a grill that cooks with wood? It's just a much better thing, a more primal thing, and it has more flavor. I would never, if I had the option of cooking over real fire. Now, granted, if I had to go out and cut the logs and cook like that, then that's some work. That's different. Then I might go propane. Right. But when I get to press a button and I'm cooking over real wood, I don't get the, there's really no choice there for me. I don't want to lose my man card. I'm cooking over the real wood. Or Lamoka Dave could be. You never know how he identifies. I'm just saying. I'm not going to lose. I'm cooking over wood. That's just me.
You could pronounce that a couple different ways.
What? Lamoka, probably wrong.
Just the first word.
Oh, okay.
It sounds mean. We're not going to do that to you, Dave.
All right, let's read. I might have to read these questions first. Taylor's got one.
Before we move on, can we briefly hit where is the grease going for people that just joined?
Yeah. So if you'll picture going from end to end, the bucket, this being the right side of the grill, is going to be towards my body. It's just all sloped this way, down and in, sloped towards me. So for you in the camera, it's going to be on this side, the bucket. It's going to be sloping down to the bucket over on the far side going out. Of course, if you cook it high afterwards, some of that residual grease could light fire. That's part of the grilling mode, part of the fun, part of the action. And we explained earlier that you could also put disposable pans under the grates to catch the majority of the grease and avoid that. I know personally I'll do that for easy cleanup when I do a low and slow, because whenever I cook butts, I like to cook 4 to 6 because I'm going to do the smoke and put it in the time anyways. So I get to take one over to a neighbor or something, and they talk about what a great guy I am, how good of a cook I am. You know, the neighbors love me. some neighbors are going to be mad now because I haven't given everybody a butt. All right. Okay, so here's I'm going to read it. I don't care. Bill Duke. Bill Duke says this is all contrary to low and slow smoking. He's got a big mad face emoji.
Oh, that's a sick face.
Yeah, he's sick. Yeah, he's
sick to his
turning green.
stomach.
This was out of control fire there. You're going to burning hot, which creates burned food and high carcinogens on meat. Black burned chicken, question mark? Not healthy, not tasty, in my opinion, just another gimmicky money grab. Well, Bill, sorry to piss on your cereal. Is that how this thing is?
That's exactly what
But anyhow, a lot of people wanted the ability to do hot and fast. A lot of people enjoy putting a crust on chicken. I personally like to get a crust on chicken and get it a little bit charred and to burn some fat in a steak. You're able to accomplish that with this grill. We certainly want to sell them. I guess I don't understand what the money grab part means, but as far as health is concerned, nothing's healthier than cooking over a real natural wood versus gas. Okay, so it's a far healthier way of cooking. And we mentioned already, of course, you're going to have a flare up here and there. You're cooking with real fire, hitting fire. I soaked the chicken we cooked overnight in Italian dressing. I tried to have the fire. It was intentional. I wanted to show that this is a grill. I literally told them I want it to flare up.
You were worried that it wouldn't flare up.
I was saying.
I was like, I really would like to see some real action.
Yeah, I wanted to catch it on fire. I did everything I could to catch it on fire for you, so you could see that, hey, you're going to have to work this grill. We made longer tongs because of it. So if you're on high
stainless steel, super durable,
longer tongs. So if you are cooking at high temps with greasy foods, you're going to have flare-ups. That's part of grill mode. And the low and slow, you say it's counterproductive or whatever. The low and slow works exactly like our other products. It turns on the smart grill technology, and it turns off the burner in the vents and creates a reverse airflow smoker that keeps precision with the smart grill technology. Go ahead. You got another question? I didn't know Shannon put mean people in here too.
How would you compare the dual fire and the Xfire?
So that's good. They both accomplished both tasks. So I like both those products. People swear by that dual fire. The only difference is on the grill side of the dual fire, it's just a smaller area when you're grilling. But the other side is dialed in perfectly for smoking, and it's always going to be smoker. It's going to give you the ability to get down to 180 degrees because it's just for smoking and grilling, of course, but it's dialed in to get down to 180. So you're going to get a little bit better precision on the dual fire when you're smoking. We're talking 5 degrees better on precision wise, and you're going to have a smaller grilling area. A guy asked me that question last night online, and it's a great question, and it's just a personal preference. I personally, between these two, just using them both, I think the Xfire is an absolute ball. I would go with the Xfire just because when you're in grill mode, you have all the room you could ever want, and then you easily convert to smoke mode. And 5 degrees, maybe swings here and there, don't bother me at all on a long overnight cook. But they're both wonderful products. You'd be happy with both. The one good thing with the dual fire, when you're smoking, you don't have to ever deal with managing potentially a grease fire. Whereas with the Xfire, you're going to have to if you're cooking greasy foods, like we talked about. It's part of it.
Yeah, and there's no there's no adaptive sear control on that dual fire, so you're getting that adaptive sear control. You can move those dampers out of the way and expose that food right to that fire.
Exactly. So yeah, you could get the fire actually touching your meat if you want it, and you want to crisp up some chicken or put a crust on a steak or whatever it may be. One guy, we've already discussed that. One guy, Dave, said there was a grease fire at the end. Like I said, you can have grease fires in this grill. It is a grill, Man, she put so one guy. So the concern.
Go ahead and read it.
All right. So Brandon says, "Sorry, but it's just too sloppy. Nobody wants flames coming out like that at 39 minutes. He looked like the uncle at the parking burning the chicken that will still be raw inside." So let's talk about that again. You can. I know they're just mean, but hey, people are tough behind that keyboard.
They are.
If they came here, we'd be talking about it and laughing about it, and they would high five. But on the keyboard,
Tough guy.
tough guys. I like them. All right, so I enjoy it. I've learned to laugh at it. But Brandon, we had a bit of a grease fire because we were grilling chicken that was in Italian dressing overnight and steaks that had butter on them. Now, what you can do with what you mentioned to your uncle, and I apologize about your uncle messing you up with the chicken when you were young, but when you cook the chicken on our grill, you put the crust on it, you very easily could then turn it into smoke mode, put it to 300 degrees to finish the chicken. So you can get a beautiful crust on your chicken and then slow cook it at 300 or 225 or whatever you want to finish it off if that's your prerogative. The only reason we had a fire the other day is because I tried to have a fire. I wanted you to see that. That's part of the grilling mode. You can turn this into a regular recteq that you're accustomed to using. It's a lot of fun. I wouldn't change a thing on it. We went through tons of R&D, tons of testing on this thing to make sure we checked all the boxes for the grillers in the world and for the smokers. So there's people out there, guys, that buy high-end gas grills.
Yep.
I mean, they've spent $2-3 grand on a gas grill. And we wanted something to say, hey, this is going to be something you're very familiar with. It's going to react just like a gas grill. And for these recteq guys are mad, it's because they're not used to that. But the gas grillers, they have flare-ups. They're used to it, accustomed to it, and this is going to react just like a gas grill when you're in grill mode. And then when you're in smoke mode, of course, you get the smoke mode that you're accustomed to with recteq with the smart grill technology. So that was all.
We're just trying to get more people in the family, man.
I'm gonna go. I mean,
We're trying to get those gas grillers to have more flavor in their food.
Yeah.
We made a grill that's like a gas grill, but yet also like a recteq.
You know, Jody, you bring up a good point. Like for those of you watching this and who are going to watch this later this evening, you know there's gas grillers out there in the world that burn their food and don't get good results. But, you know, like John said the other day, he said, I grew up thinking that's the way food was supposed to taste. I did too, just burnt.
Yeah.
And but anyhow, if you know those gas grillers in your life, show them this recteq Xfire. Tell them not to even worry about the smoke mode to begin with. Use this thing as a grill. It's going to be something they're familiar with. Right. You press a button, it lights itself. Just use it as a grill. And then one of these days, they're going to get comfortable and they're going to switch that knob over to smoke mode. It might be Thanksgiving. They're going to put a whole turkey on there at 350 and have the best turkey they've ever had in their life, or a wood-fired pizza, or a butt, or a brisket, or a tri-tip they're going to smoke. You'll try it. Once they find out that these pellets, there's nothing to be scared of. If anything, propane's something to be scared about. You know, my wife would not like a propane grill because of the big poof that happens sometimes. You know, it breaks, you get a lighter in there, boom, lose your eyebrows. Right. I don't have much to lose, you know what I mean? All right, you got another good question. Yeah, they're lying.
Dang. I didn't realize.
Peter wants to know, what about using a cast iron on the Xfire at high temps?
Oh, it'd be fantastic. I mean, the Xfire Pro already has cast iron grates, but if you want to put a cast iron skillet on there and capture a sauce or a pan gravy, absolutely, it'd perform wonderful. Whether it's a Dutch oven, cast iron skillet, yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah, man. And so I hope that answers some questions about the Xfire. And I hope that you guys will tune in and share these videos, these surprise lives that we're going to start doing. I think you're going to enjoy them. They're just like a few minutes, 2 to 3 minutes of facts about the recteq that we're going to be sharing with you guys, starting almost daily. Of course, we won't get one in every weekend, but during the weekday, we're going to do at least one a day. And I hope that you guys will watch those. I hope that you will tune in and share with your friends all this stuff. So we got John and the sick emoji here. Who wrote that? Bill Duke. Bill Duke, man. I get you, man. I'm sorry we made you sick. But you would love it if you saw it in person. Come by sometime, Bill Duke. We'll grill a steak together, have a cold one. We appreciate you tuning in today, guys. And as always, we'll see you at the recteq.